Welcome to the Cancer Support Mindfulness Zoom for today, the 21st of May. If you're watching this on video, we run this mindfulness session through Cancer Support Charity every week. All you need to do to come along and join in is contact Cancer Support Group 0C, a charity on the Côte d'Azur supporting people in a journey through cancer, whether you yourself are undergoing treatment or whether it's a member of your family. We're here to offer support. And this mindfulness session every week is an integral part of that. And mindfulness practice is simply the capacity to be present with what is here. Very simple definition, but the practice itself involves various exercises where we can develop focus and perspective and new ways of relating to experience. And many scientific studies show proven benefits of mindfulness meditation for managing pain or discomfort or emotional emotional challenges as you go through uncertain times. Also, just good for a sense of improved well-being, better connection with your body, connection with life, the difficult days and the easy days, and a greater sense of agency, self-control, and kind of reconnecting again to you, the essence of who you are in the middle of everything. So every week we have our mindfulness session on Zoom at 2 o'clock. And the first Wednesday of every month, we have an in-person mindfulness session at the Grange before the drop-in. And the drop-in is a chance for people to come and just chat about their experiences going through a journey with cancer, meet other people going on their journey, or meet active listeners who are there to kind of listen and offer support. And Cancer Support Group can be easily connected just by Googling CSG06 or Cancer Support Group 0C and going through their website. If you want to take part in the mindfulness sessions, you can ask. They will then send me your email and I will add you to a mailing list and you will receive the weekly Zoom link and you will receive the information about the drop-ins on a Wednesday, first Wednesday of the month. They're at the Grange in Montsartou on the Côte d'Azur, and they also have drop-ins in Antibes and now starting in Nice. And as you're on the mailing list for CSG06, you get details about those. All free. All free. Okay. So here we are with our mindfulness session, and we meet on Zoom. So you can be in the comfort of your home, whether you're feeling strong today or a little bit tired, whether things are stable or a little bit all over the place. This is an opportunity for you to just switch on your computer on Zoom, go and lie down on a comfy bed or a nice sofa, and just give yourself an hour where all that you have to do is follow the guidance of the meditation, gives you a chance to slow down, to recharge your batteries, and just let go of all the busy of organizing and appointments and treatments and results and everything else that you have to get on with in kind of day-to-day life around all of that. So we begin our practice usually with mindfulness by finding a posture. What we mean by that is finding a way of sitting or lying that allows us to feel reasonably relaxed and comfortable, but also kind of alert and awake. And we can be lying down. If you're feeling tired today, you could lie on a bed, lie on a settee, or even on a yoga mat on the floor. making sure you've got cushions to support you if you need it, maybe under your knees or under your neck, your head. And if you're lying down, you might even want a blanket or a scarf to cover yourself uh, in case you get a sense of cooling, being a little bit cooler as you lie in meditation. And if you're sitting, try, if possible, to have the feet on the floor. So you got a solid base for your posture. And it doesn't matter if you're leaning on the back of a chair or if your back is self-supporting, as long as your posture is kind of upright and comfortable. So we always begin just by organizing our posture and settling down into a way that feels right for you. Might be different every time. So while I'm introducing this, you can be rearranging your cushions, organizing posture, making any adjustments, sensing into places where there might be tension, checking what happens if you move your shoulders, move your hips, move your legs or your arms, and then just allow the body to find that posture that works today. And the next thing we do in practice is a sense of just arriving into practice. So we're not looking to achieve any particular state of being here. There's many different types of meditation. Some of them, definitely people do try to create a certain state of mind or an energy in the body. But for mindfulness, we simply want to be dropping into awareness of what is here. Okay, so mindfulness meditation is about becoming more aware of what's in the body, what's in the mind, what's in the emotions, and even what's in the immediate environment around us. And to open that awareness, it's nice if we can, first of all, drop into what we call a sense of being grounded. So we do that by inviting our attention, our curiosity into noticing all the places where the body is in contact with a surface. And then noticing perhaps how the weight of the body is received in all those different places. So obviously, if you're sitting or lying, the first thing is just to notice which parts of the body are connected to the floor or the bed, maybe parts of the feet or the legs, maybe the seat or the buttocks, possibly the back, perhaps even hands, arms. Once you've noticed and found these places, we can then just go a little bit deeper, where you feel that contact. Are you aware of a surface that's hard or soft? Is there a sense of the temperature, warm or cool? And maybe a sense of which places are holding more of your body's weight and which places are just basically helping you to maintain your posture. So even this is a meditation in itself, just a coming into awareness of these sensations in the body. Awareness that your body right now is held and supported and stable and safe. And this gives us a kind of foundation upon which we can build exercises into other types of awareness. If during the practice you find that you're having difficulty in focusing or you're getting easily distracted, you can always come back to just the feet in contact with the floor or the bed, the different points of contact. Just come back to feeling into those, getting a sense of kind of being grounded and returning to the foundation of your practice, the body supported and held by the bed or the mat or the chair. And once we've achieved that sense of grounding, we can settle more deeply into awareness of just the present moment experience. Okay, not the worrying about the future or thinking about things that have happened in the past, but becoming really fully present with just this flow of moment by moment experience. And the easiest way, or one way that works, is to connect to the breathing. If this works for you, we don't try to change the breathing. We're not trying to slow the breathing down or take deeper breaths or use the breathing to calm or to activate. Just simply notice that the body is breathing all by itself. And kind of turn your attention inwards, inside the body. Where can you feel the movement of breathing? The movement of breathing might be felt today more in the belly, sometimes in the chest, and sometimes the mouth or the nose, with the entry of air on the in-breath and the air leaving the body on the out-breath. And then for mindfulness, just being aware. Mindfulness is like awareness, noticing, paying attention in the present moment. We just are curious. What do we notice as we observe the movement of breathing in the body today?
Perhaps you can feel the difference between the in-breath, the movement of the diaphragm and the belly, the expansion of the chest and the lungs, the flow of cool air coming into the body, and just drop into a series of in-breaths. And with each in-breath, just notice those movements, those sensations. And we can turn attention to the out breath, the sensation of relaxation in the diaphragm, in the chest, that release and letting go, and the warmer air that leaves the body through mouth and nose. And then we can put the two together and follow that rhythm of expansion and then release that comes with the rhythm, the flow of breath coming in, breath going out. Now, if you notice that you're thinking about this process, am I doing this right? Is my breathing too fast or too slow? Is it too shallow, too deep? Doesn't matter, right? There's no goal in this. We're not trying to breathe in any particular way. We're simply noticing how your body is breathing today. So maybe today is a shallow breath day, or a deep breath day, or a fast day, a slow day. Just noticing what's here. We might do this practice on the breath 5 times a day, and every time the breathing will be different because the breathing is always adjusting depending on how much activity is going on, or depending perhaps on the emotions in the body, or even depending on how we feel physically moment by moment as we go through the day. So there's no right way or wrong way to be breathing, and we're not looking to do anything other than just notice, just feel that movement of breathing in the body. So the paying attention to movement of breathing allows us to drop into a type of awareness that is below words, right? We're not thinking about whether this is like words like fast or slow. We're just feeling sensations. It's the language of the body, not the language of the thinking mind. Yeah, gives us a little break from all the thinking that we do every day. And it allows us to connect more to the physical sensations that are always present in the body. But now we become aware of them. We're more connected to the physical body that we walk around in every day. But of course, can't stop thinking, right? Our minds are always thinking, right? Thousands and thousands of thoughts cross the mind every day. Even when we're meditating, we do not stop thinking. So here we have a second advantage of mindfulness. When we are aware of thinking, when we're consciously aware, I'm in thinking right now, we have a choice. We could say, right now, actually, I'm not going to pay attention to that thinking. I'm going to focus my attention more down into my breathing. Okay, so this gives us the opportunity to what we do is it gives us agency of where we put our attention. And this is a very useful skill to have, especially if life is a bit uncertain or there's a lot going on, and we can feel quite scattered or quite pulled in different directions. The capacity to just say, you know what, for 5 minutes, I'm just going to focus on my breathing. It's just that little oasis where things are much more simple, more embodied, and more just a beautiful rhythm of the breathing. Yeah, it's a way of finding a sense of being more grounded, more centered. And secondly, it will, if we're once we're aware of our thinking, it gives us a choice of what we do with that thinking. But we'll come to that later on. So for now, if you're aware that you've got lost in thought, which is perfectly normal, if you're aware that you've drifted into planning something, remembering something, worrying, rumination, judging, self-evaluating, striving, anything to do with the thinking mind, just say, oh, there's thinking. And then for now, let's just let the thoughts go as if you were watching a bus come up to a bus stop, but instead of getting on the bus, you just let it, you sit at the side, you watch the bus, you let it go. So a thought arises, you notice the thought, you acknowledge it's there, and then you let it go on its way, and you stay sitting with your attention, returning to feeling the next in breath, the next out breath, the next in breath, the next out breath. And scientific studies have proven that the human mind wanders probably about 50% of the time. So if you're in a meditation that lasts 20 minutes, it's perfectly normal that your mind is wandering for like half that time. So if you're observing that you keep dropping into thinking, then that's okay, it's normal. But the thing is that you notice it, you're aware of it. That is mindfulness. So when you're aware of thinking, you can congratulate yourself. Another moment of mindful awareness. I know I'm thinking. I choose to guide my focus of attention back into following the movement of breathing. So you could just do a practice on the breath if you want, for the next part of our practice today. We could expand our awareness, our curiosity to connect to the rest of the body. Okay, so just stay with your breathing. That movement in the belly will connect you to other sensations in the abdomen, in the torso, feeling of the organs of digestion, perhaps. And again, we don't need to have words for what we find, just know the feeling of those sensations. Perhaps they have a particular location. Perhaps some sensations are strong, others very subtle. You might even imagine them having a texture, a color. And of course, the movement of breathing, you might feel the organs of the lungs, the heart, the cardiovascular system, perhaps awareness of your heartbeat, movement of lungs as they expand and then release. Around that, perhaps you're aware of the muscles of the back or the muscles of the belly, the chest. We can be aware of any muscles that are working right now to maintain posture, muscles that are relaxed. Perhaps just see if we can discern the different sensations that go with a tense muscle or a relaxed muscle. And when we connect to body, everything that we find registers with us emotionally, right? It's a perfectly normal and natural thing for all mammals and many living things to have a sense of like or dislike, a sense of comfort or discomfort. It's a basic um, awareness that most living things have, even plants or insects or fish, mammals, reptiles, humans. So when you sense into your belly, your chest, your muscles, your skin of your torso, underneath that or around that, you can feel an emotional response arising. Yeah, it's not a thinking, it's a feeling in the body, a sense of comfort and well-being, or a sense of restlessness and discomfort. So in our practice, which we kind of try to meet all of these in a similar way, just with curiosity. What does it feel like? What does comfortable feel like? And where is it in my torso and my body today? And just rest there and go, this is what comfortable feels like. Where is it felt? How is it felt? What happens if I stay with the feeling of comfort that I find in this part of my body? And what happens if we notice something that feels a little bit tense or strained or uncomfortable, right? There's a natural resistance, there's an instinct to avoid, to want it to go away, to feel bad. But if we can go and just sit down and observe that process, like we're observing the bus of discomfort driving up at the bus stop, and we can see all the little people inside that represent the emotions or the feelings or the thoughts that go with discomfort. We can just kind of sit at the bus stop and observe the bus and the people on the bus and then let them drive on. So we can look at that discomfort and the emotions and the feelings and the thoughts that go with it just with a kind of curiosity. Well, where and how does discomfort manifest itself in the body right now? What does it feel like? What emotions does it bring up? And what thoughts? Just observe without taking, without following them or acting on them, just observing. So, a key attitude of mind that comes with the mindfulness practice is acceptance and acknowledgement. Okay, so acceptance doesn't mean that we have to like what we find. It just means that we know that it's there. So it's the opposite of denial. If we know what's there, then we have more agency, more information, more connection with the body as it actually is. If we're aware of the emotions around that, pain or discomfort or just being totally fed up with everything, had enough, I'm tired, I'm stressed, then we acknowledge that too, right? We know that it's there. We acknowledge it. We acknowledge it doesn't feel very nice, but then we get to know it a little bit better. And the body just has a sense of being heard, being acknowledged, being seen, being listened to. And we can take this curiosity beyond the torso, the abdomen, the chest. We can go explore the limbs, the arms, the legs, the head, the hands, the feet, the shoulders. Just ask the body, what is happening today? You might feel something in your leg or something in your arm or some part of your body that draws your attention and says, hey, come and notice this sensation. Of course, it won't use words, it'll use a tingling, a pulsing, an aching, a sense of temperature, pressure. And we can just be curious, well, where is this felt? Can we locate where the sensation is felt in the body? And then if we imagine taking a broad beam light, we notice where it is. We can then like narrow the beam to like a spotlight and really go into find more, all the different layers of sensation that are within that sensation. Maybe there's like something happening on the surface, something a little bit deeper, a sense of intensity perhaps, or lightness. So we just get to know the qualities of what we're feeling. You can also notice how if we sit just observing things happening, just like if you sit at a bus stop, you see lots of different traffic going by, lots of different buses. It's the same if we sit and just observe the body. We get lots of different sensations appearing into awareness. So the longer you sit, the more you might become aware of the sense of temperature on the skin and how that fluctuates and changes moment to moment. You might feel hot 1 minute or cool the next. You might feel warmth where your body is lying on the surface and cool on the places where your skin is open to the air. There's all sorts of things to explore. We're going to notice that the body is a very dynamic thing. Moment to moment, the body is responding to the outside world, the internal landscape. Um, the emotions are constantly rising and lowering. The heartbeat follows, the breathing changes, the sweat or the temperature of the skin is always fluctuating, the pulse is changing, what's going on in your digestion is always changing. Food is being processed, you feel hungry, you feel full, all sorts of different sensations of being alive. The body tells you where it feels tender, where it feels delicate, where it feels a little bit uncomfortable, but also it tells you where it feels strong, where it feels solid, like maybe in your pelvis or your spine, or a sense of the muscles that maintain your posture. Maybe we could just sense into anywhere right now that the body feels strong or alive, dynamic. And we can notice even that the body has many very, very subtle sensations. For example, when we blink and where the eyelids just touch, or when our lips touch, or the tongue inside the mouth. We could look for all the different subtleties, maybe the tingling on the skin, little itchy sensations, or the feeling of hair brushing on your forehead or your neck. Maybe even just the touch of fingers, fingertips. the touch of clothing on your skin or air on your skin. There's many very subtle and delicate sensations that we might find in the body too. So, throughout mindfulness practice, awareness is a very important thing. But as we've touched on through this practice, sometimes reality can be quite unpleasant, difficult, challenging. And when we become aware in mindfulness, if anything, we become more aware of that. How do we handle this? How do we deal with a reality overdose, perhaps? And the answer really is kindness. So, along with awareness in mindfulness, we must practice with a sense of kindness and care. So, one way to do this, just again, to recognize that life for all living beings goes through difficult times. You know, whether you're an amoeba, an elephant, a whale, a bird, a plant, at some point, all living things face times of difficulty. So when we feel that we're going through a time of difficulty, it's actually a natural part of being alive. But what helps to get through it is a sense of kindness and self-compassion. So if you found anything in your practice today, a physical sensation in the body, a particular emotion, or a pattern of thinking, can we at least invite some kindness towards all of those things? Kind of recognition, gosh, yeah, I hear that things feel difficult. I hear the body recognize the difficulty. I notice the emotions. I see the thinking and the thoughts. And I invite a softness and a kindness around these places. It's actually quite a strong and courageous thing to say, yeah, this is a time of difficulty, and then to think about how you can resource yourself with kindness or support, friends, family, or even cancer support group Zero Cease, and how we can support or you can support yourself as you go through your own little periods of difficulty. So kindness, acceptance, and the willingness perhaps to see things in a fresh perspective that you know this connects us all together. We're all human beings. We all know what difficult times feel like. And that gives us an ability to be compassionate, to have empathy, and to work together as a community to support each other. Also, our awareness gives us a chance to notice our strengths, our courage, our resilience, our capacity to cope, to adapt, to to learn new things. And it gives us the chance to notice that whatever's happening, just like the temperature on the skin is always changing, the heartbeat and the breathing are always adapting. The this digestive system is always in a flux between being hungry, being full. So our emotions are always changing. Our thoughts are all just things passing through the mind. Our physical sensations will all be different in a day's time, in a week's time. So change and our capacity to notice and relate to what's happening right now, knowing that things might be different even in an hour's time, gives mindfulness a capacity to really be alive and dynamic. And we get to know ourselves much better as we go through the days, the weeks, the months. So well done for your practice today. Well done for giving yourself this time. It's been about a 45-minute practice. You don't need to do 45 minutes every day, but what about dropping in through your week 5 minutes to just connect to your breathing? Notice what's going on there. Or maybe 5 minutes to notice the temperature of skin or places that your body's in contact with a chair or a bed. What about giving yourself 5 minutes to check in with your digestion, your heartbeat, and maybe 5 minutes sometime else in the day to connect to places that feel good and strong or places that feel tender and tense. And then you can breathe a little bit of kindness or a little bit of compassion as you need it as well. So connecting to your emotions too. So if you can just learn to drop in for a minute or two or 5 minutes or at different points of the day, it's a bit like the electric battery of a car. You know, like those cars that recharge themselves as they're driving. So as you go through the day, you just dip into your mindfulness and you just recharge your batteries as you go through the day. Instead of, an hour of practice where you fill the battery up and then a week where you don't do anything and you're totally depleted. And then you kind of plug yourself in for another hour and fill your battery up and then run yourself down for another week. So just to drop a little bit of mindfulness in, maybe hook it onto when you have a cup of tea, when you're going out to the car, when you're sitting at traffic lights, if you're in a queue or a waiting room, just little things that happen in day-to-day life and go, here's an opportunity. Can I just feel my feet on the floor? Can I follow the sensations of breathing, even just for 5 breaths? Can I feel my hands in my lap? And if I go deeper, what do I feel in my body, in my emotions, and in my thoughts? Can I acknowledge what's here? Can I offer kindness and compassion if I need it? Can I let it all go and just feel myself breathing for a minute? Just the simplicity of in breath and out breath. And then with that little top up to your battery recharged, reconnected, you can get on with the rest of your day. So for those of us who take part in the Zoom every week, after we've done our practice, we sit and have a little discussion because a very important part of mindfulness practice is the talking about it, what we call inquiry. It allows us to put what we've experienced into context to kind of understand what has happened during the practice, and and also to process it a little bit. And then if you're watching on the video and you haven't got an opportunity for taking part in that discussion, then maybe just write something in a journal. Just note down anything that came up in today's practice, even if it was today I found it really difficult to practice. I was too restless, or today I kept getting distracted by the leaf blower outside and it made me really annoyed, or just today I was so tired I fell asleep. Just whatever happens, write down what you observe every time you practice. And then when you look through your journal over a few weeks, you begin to see, you begin to learn quite a lot. It gives you a bit of insight into many different aspects of life. So well done for your practice. Okay, well done for being here. And I'm going to end the recording here. And I look forward to seeing you again. Maybe you can come and join our practice on Zoom next week through Cancer Support Group Zero Cease, or maybe you'll pick up this next week's recording as well, in which case, enjoy your practice.